Holy crap, so the Pope's resigning. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I really don't, but it feels like a special and a big deal to me to know that the Pope is going to be resigning on the 28th of this month. I don't know why. I haven't heard the reasons why yet. I'm sure they are fine reasons and all. I really don't know, but it's weird. It's not weird in a suspicious sort of conspiracy theorist, Illuminati crazy person kind of way, but it is weird. I don't know. I guess he is getting pretty old. He was alive to be in the Hitler Youth, and I'm not bringing that up to knock the guy in any way. I don't know enough about him, as a person or what he's done. But World War II happened a long time ago. If he was a kid during Hitler's reign, then he is probably getting up there in age. I would, yeah, he'd have to be in like in his 80s maybe by now. But anyways, yeah, Pope's resigning. Again, I don't know how historic this is. It is historic. Anytime there's a Pope that is historic, there haven't been that many, and I'm not a religious person at all. But it's a figurehead, and I don't think it's a very important figurehead. It's definitely not to me. My world would be no different without a Pope. But some people, that's their bag. Catholicism and all. Anyways, Pope's resigning, and I think it's I think in my mind at least, it's because Pope John Paul, was he the third, was someone who was beloved by most, except for Sinead O'Connor. Real Enemy and all that, remember? Saturday Night Live. Anyways, my thoughts are, was Benedict the transitional Pope? In wrestling, you have transitional champions because Champion A is giving the title to Champion B, but instead of giving it directly from Champion A to Champion B, in order to not take not the prestige, but the meaning and I can't think of a good way to explain it, but in order to keep from title reign A from affecting title reign B and people holding them too close in comparison, as you can see, they're not the same. Title reign A is much smaller. You bring in title reign C, and that's transitional champion. It's just the guy that A gives to B so that B can give it to C, and then that way these two aren't directly compared anymore. And that's a dumb way of explaining what I think this was, this papalship, or whatever it would be. Alright, well, that's one other stuff I wanted to talk about. Great minds, man. I was listening to Bill Hicks in the shower yesterday and realized that he is one of the great minds of our last 30, 40 years. George Carlin, Louis C.K. are definitely among those, and that's where I think the great minds are these days. They are in comedians, and I think that has something to do with Mark Twain, and I do compare some of those guys to Mark Twain, Louis C.K. and George Carlin specifically. And there was a time when great minds were politicians, philanthropists, and other things like that, but I don't think that's the case anymore. There have been great minds in music and on all other fields and in the arts. There still are great minds in all those places, but I don't think the bulk of them are found there anymore. Abraham Lincoln doesn't exist these days. He was a great mind. Emerson doesn't exist. Thoreau doesn't exist. Now we have Louis C.K. We had George Carlin until recently. Bill Hicks, on the other hand, did die about 20 years ago, so he's not really in the modern era exactly, though he was ahead of his time. Really, he was. Alright, I'm done umming and talking to you people. I'm going to go take a shower now. But yeah, the Pope is resigning. How about that, man? I just heard about it minutes ago. I think it's breaking news. CNN didn't have any information, but I did end up finding something about it. So the Pope is resigning. So we're going to have to watch for that white smoke again. This is twice in my lifetime, twice in my adult lifetime, I've had to watch for that white smoke, and I have to do it. I have to know who it's going to be. Is it going to be a non-white guy? No, probably not. There was that one guy that was Hispanic they were thinking about before. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like, let's make the Hispanic guy that first. But first, let's make the German. Yeah, let's make the German. He'll be the transitional, so we won't have the Hispanic guy, you know, being compared to directly to what by most accounts was a great pope. And I don't know. I don't remember the cardinal who, some South American cardinal, was the one who was definitely heavily rumored to be the first Hispanic pope last time. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. It does excite me. Again, I really don't care about any of this, but it does excite me. It interests me. I do want to see who the next pope is going to be. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for babbling about virtually nothing right now. But the Great Minds thing, that's something I intended to talk about yesterday, but never got a chance to record. But think about it. Where are the great minds of our day? They're in the comedians. There are other great minds elsewhere, of course, obviously, yeah. But, yeah, the comedians. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I'm going to go shower. You guys have an awesome day.